Alright class, so in this video I'm going to show you how to use the type tool in Adobe Illustrator. So you have your type tool located underneath the pen tool. Right, there are a lot of different options to choose from. If you don't see them, make sure that you're either on your essentials or make sure that you're on your essentials, or you might have essentials classic. To use the type tool, you just click and a cursor will pop up, and then you can type on this path. So I'm going to use my name as my example for all of my type. And you can see in the layer bar it comes up as a sub-layer underneath your layer, and every single type layer that I add to will come up as a sub-layer underneath my layers. The cool thing is that you can automatically scale it, you can rotate it without having to really go and change the point size. If you wanted to change the specific point size or even the font style or color, etc., you can use your type tool, right? So you click on your type tool, you select the type, and then you'll be able to change the color. You'd be able to change the font style, and also the point size. So if I wanted to make it bigger, smaller, I can change the point size. Now this doesn't pertain to, but there are also a lot of options here that you can play around with. You have a character bar where you can specifically space out certain items. You can bold your information, you can capitalize, underline. You can also align your information in a paragraph format. So there are a lot of options here. Okay, so that would be like the basic typeface, right? But also know that you can type vertically. So if I went to vertical type tool, I can also write my name vertically, right? So it does give you a lot of different options here. All right. So what I wanted to show you next was how to warp your text. So what I'm going to do is take my name, I'm going to select it, I'm going to copy it, Command C or Control C, Command V, and copy my name. Now the thing with any of the effect tools, which I'm going to show you, is the effect tools are under, you probably can't see this on my screen, but they're underneath effect. If you go to effect, these are all different tools that you can use. You can make a three-dimensional type text. You can also stylize, like add a shadow, a glow, you can warp it, and so forth. It will only work if you actually select it, as I am now. All right. If I go to use my type tool and select it and go up to effect, you'll notice that it will not give me the option of changing any of the effects here. Highlighting it and selecting the text only works for changing the color, adding an outline, and so forth. In fact, I can add an outline to this just to kind of show you how easy it is to work in Illustrator. Let's say, I'm going to start with this one. Let's say I wanted to add a 3D effect. I can go to 3D and I can preview it, and you can see that it makes my name three-dimensional. I can change the depth of it, make it longer as it was, or make it a little bit shorter. I can also change the type of bevel. I can change the shape of it, and I can also let's just put none on it. We won't make it complex. I can also rotate it. I can change the direction of this three-dimensional feature, right? Right. The next tool that I wanted to show you was the warp tool, right? Or stylize, right? So you have warp, you can add an arc to it, right? There are a lot of different options here that you can see, you can work with. I can also add a drop shadow to it or a glow. This is a little bit different than Photoshop. right? Photoshop gives you like a little circle that spins around, and you can change the shadow according to that. Here you have an X and Y offset that will change the direction of the drop shadow. You could also blur it, or you can soften it, or make it a hard edge type of a shadow. You can change the opacity of it, make it a little bit lighter, and that's how that works. Right. The last thing I wanted to show you was writing on a path or on a shape. So you can actually use any of your lines tools, right? I'm going to use my arc tool to create a path to write on. So if you'd wanted to create like a customized warp, you could use your arc tool. Using your direct selection tool, you can change the direction of this path line. So let's say I wanted my information to sit on this line. I can go to type on a path, and then notice that my cursor turns into like a little squiggle. When I go to select the path, it will allow me to type on that specific path. So I can customize the direction of my type, which is pretty cool. All right, the last thing I wanted to show you was writing in a shape or outside of shapes. So let's say I had a paragraph of information. I wanted to write that information inside this shape here. Okay. What I can do is create my shape and then go to my type tool and go area type tool, and that will allow me to type inside of that shape. So notice my cursor turned into a circle. So when I go to place it inside of, next to the path, it's going to type inside of that space. It may not come up as great as I really want it to because the type was so big. So it kind of lends itself to fit the typeface, I'm sorry, the point size that you choose, right? When you do things like this, you kind of got to work at it to make it fit within that space. But you can see here that you can definitely work within a specific type of space if you're looking for something like that. You can also type on the outside of a shape. Okay, so if I wanted to take this shape again, now you don't actually have to change the color of it because it automatically will understand that you're typing on it, and it will actually get rid of the color inside of that shape. So I'm going to go to type on a path tool, and I'm going to type on this space. In fact, I'm going to do type on a path tool vertically, right? And what you'll notice is it's going to type the information vertically instead of straight. So if I were going to do type on a path, it changes the direction of that font style, right? So those are different ways that you can use the type tool in Illustrator. And that's it.